In today's video, we are going to design this component called pricing plan component using React. By the end of this video, you will learn new skills to add to your React skills toolbox. So let's look at the demo for this project. For this, we're going to have two types of plan, annual and then the monthly. When I toggle the annual, as you can see, the data changes. Likewise, the monthly. So let's look at the logic behind this. We are going to have one state, and this state will determine whether the user is selecting annual or monthly. And over here, we are going to have one component called card. Then we are going to display the component 3 times. For these 3 cards, the difference are the data being passed to the component, and we are going to pass them as props. So we are going to have 2 types of data for each card, and that is for each plan. For essential, we are going to have this data on the monthly basis. And then for yearly, we are going to have this data. So let's see how we are going to design this component. But before we continue, I have already prepared the CSS. So we are going to use the CSS. But if you want to learn how to write the CSS from scratch, then you can leave a comment below. Let's get back to Visual Studio Code and start to design this component. Over here, I have already created fresh React application, and it is called React Pricing Plan Component. If you don't have it, you can go ahead and issue the snippet as npx create-react-app, then the name of your project. For me, I have it, so I'm not going to issue this command. And mine is running on this port. First step is that we are going to create the folders. And over here, inside the SRC, I'm going to add one folder called component. And inside, I'm going to have one component called pricing card. And you can name it as card. And I'm going to use the snippet, and that is RAFCE. And I have that because I'm using an extension called React Redux extension, which is this one. So you can go ahead and install this extension. Next step is I'm going to provide the CSS and then the image for this. And I'll provide in the description of this video. So I'll place it inside the SRC. Likewise, the image inside the SRC. So inside the pricing card component, let's go ahead and then have the structure for the card. But before working on this card, let's get into the app. This is where we are going to mount or call the pricing card component. So we need to have the structure. Before that, let's require the CSS as // pricing app. Make sure to type the exact name. So now inside here, I'm going to remove and use JSX here as that. And let's provide the first one as div and provide the class name. Make sure to type the exact class names, otherwise the styles will not be applied. After that, we are going to have a div for the container and provide a class name as app-container. And over here, we are going to create the header, which represents these guys over here. So let's start with our pricing plan. So I'm going to use the header tag here, and inside I'm going to have h1, and that h1 is going to be our pricing plan. as that, and inside that we are going to have the row. So let's provide a class name called header-topic and save it, and let's see if the CSS will be applied. And indeed it has been applied. So let's go ahead and continue on the instruction. So over here we are going to have one div, and this div is going to be the header row. Provide class name as header-row. Then inside you provide p tag, and this p tag represents the annual plan. After that, you're gonna have a label. Then the class name called price-switch, and inside we're gonna have the input field, and provide class name called price-checkbox. And the type for this is going to be checkbox. Then after the input, we are going to have a div, and this div is going to be this style, like a button style, and we're gonna have a specific class name for it as switch-slider. Save it and let's see, and we have it as that. Next step is let's provide the monthly. So after the, let me copy this, and after the label, paste it here and change this one to monthly. Save it and we have it as that. Now we are done with the header. Next step is that we are going to provide the card. So here I will say cars here, and we're gonna wrap them inside a container. The class name is called pricing-cars. So let's see, and it has put them up there. So let's get back to the card component and let's have the structure. So we are going to remove this, and let's require the CSS. It's going to be .. and styles and / the pricing card.css. So now let's continue the instruction, and we're gonna have a div with class name called pricing, uppercase pricing card, and let's add some h1 here, and we are going to render that one inside the app. So over here, let's require the pricing card, and the auto import is fine. So we are going to place the card here. Save it, and there we go. So let's continue with the styling. So over here, that is a card component here. Let's remove this, and we are going to have a header, and inside here we are going to pass in the props. So we are going to destructure the props here as the title, comma, price, comma, the storage, users, and then the send app. So we are going to inject them here as that. So here the P1 is going to be the title, and provide JSX here and the title. And let's provide the class name as card-title. And let's copy this, paste it here, and change this one to H1. And this one gonna be the card price. Then the prop here is the price. Next step is that we're gonna have the features. So here I will say features here, and we are going to wrap inside a div and provide class name of card-features, and inside we're gonna have 3 cars. The first one, provide the class name as card-storage, and provide the storage prop. Let's copy this, paste it 2 times, and here is going to be the users dash allowed. And here as users, then I will add some text as users in total. And last one is going to be cart.send-app at send app. Well, this one is supposed to be outside the header. So let me cut this one from here, and after the header, paste that. And lastly is going to be the button. And we will say read more. Alright, and provide the class name as cart-btn. Save it and let's have a look, and this is how it looks like. Now we are going to pass in the data. Alright, so we are going to repeat this one 3 times. Second one and third one. And there we go. So now it's time for us to pass in the data. Over here, this is where we are going to pass in the props. So we are going to have a state, and it's going to be use state hook and then pass in the initial value as true. So this one will determine whether a user is selecting whether monthly or annual. So here is going to be as select monthly and set select monthly. Great. So over here, we are going to pass in those props. But before that, we are going to have an event handler inside the checkbox here. So inside here, we are going to check if the user is selecting a monthly or yearly, then we can toggle the data. So it's going to be as unchanged, and pass in callback function as that, and we are going to use the set monthly, and we have access to the previous state as previous, and we are going to return by inverting it as previous, meaning that if it is true, when the user click on the button or the checkbox, it will be false. And if it is false, then it will be true. With this one, if you go ahead and console.log the selected monthly, let's have a look. Now let's open the console, and let me click on this, false and true. Now it is working. So we are going to pass in the props, and we are done. So inside the first one, we are going to provide the title of the plan. So here, title here is equal to essential. With this one, let's see, and we have it as essential. Great. And next prop is going to be the price. So here is a magic. Over here, we are going to check if the user has selected monthly. Then we are going to pass in the monthly plan. So quote here in $20.99. Otherwise, we are going to default to the annual plan as $188.9. Save it and let's have a look, and we have $188.9. If I select monthly, I have $20. So the next one is going to be the storage, and this one is 600 gigabyte storage, and uses up to 4, and you can send up to 5 gigabyte files of 5 here. Now we have the first one. Do you get it? Yeah. So I think we need to provide the actual prop well for the send app. So here inside the card, which is this, is going to be send up to then the size. Now it'll be good to go. All right, now let's also work on the second one. So I'm going to pass in these props also, but change the values. We are going to change this plan to deluxe. And then the pricing here is going to be 34. And then the yearly is going to be 349. And it's going to be as, this one's supposed to be 60 megabyte. Or let me say 6 megabyte, or yeah, 60 is okay. The choice is yours. We can modify this one, and let me change this one to 70, and this one I can say 10, and I can say 10 here. And last one is going to be the premium plan. Oh, it's supposed to be this, and change this one to premium. And for the premium, we have monthly of $79 and yearly as $499. And you can send up to, let's say, 90 gig and up to 20 gig. All right, save it and let's see. And there we go. If I toggle, as you can see, the data changes. All right, here ends this video. And in case you found this video useful, please like, comment, and share. Catch you up in my next video.